Hello, this is Miss Lally, and today is April 10th. Yes, it is April 10th, 2021, and it has been many moons since I made a YouTube video, and a lot has happened. So from my last video, I had mentioned that we were getting our house in order so that we could move. We were making a bunch of changes to our house, so we did it. We moved. We sold our house. Our house sold on February 5th of this year, and we are now staying with my dad, so I don't have a garden plot or area or location at this moment, but I am taking this opportunity to get into container gardening. So that's why I've been MIA on YouTube, because we were moving. We did all these changes to the house, and I had stopped gardening at my previous location of 18 years. Stopped gardening, so we were just focusing on getting the house in order, and that's an experience, selling the house, especially if you've been in your house for a long time and you haven't been in the whole housing market and all of that stuff. So that was just an experience in itself. And now we're staying with my dad and looking for a new home. And now that's a whole new challenge, because the housing market is crazy. It's crazy. So we're trying to find a home that's got a bit more space than what we currently have, or what we had, and a lot more yard space in the backyard, because there's a lot of things I want to do when it comes to gardening. But like I said, we're staying at my dad's house, and I'm getting into container gardening while I'm there, while I can take the opportunity to focus on container gardening. Because when I was at the other location, I was trying to get into container garden, but yet I was more focused on growing stuff in the ground than container gardening. So now I can devote all of my attention to trying to grow stuff in containers. So I've already started. I'm growing potatoes and tomatoes. Well, I got these patio tomatoes, and I have one pepper plant. So I'm going to focus on growing those. And so what I'm going to do is I took pictures of what I did, and I'm going to put it all in this video so that you can see. And I'm just going to try to get back into doing YouTube, and because I miss it, and take you along my container gardening container gardening journey. And hopefully when we do find a place, I can have my understanding of container gardening kind of down packed a little, and go from there. So that's where I've been, just trying to reorient myself in our new home, which is staying with my dad. And his yard, he has this shed that has that's home to all of these carpenter bees, and it just makes going out in the backyard so hard. Also, I dug up a lot of my plants that I had around the yard at our previous location. My hostas, I couldn't leave my hostas, and I had 2 apple trees that I had got from the city, and they got too big. I had planted them in the yard, and they had got too big. I never focused on growing fruit trees in my videos, because I'm a novice at it. So I left the apple trees, but I did clip some of the twigs off, and I'm trying to grow them. And so they have actually sprouted, and I couldn't leave my peach tree. It's a Suwannee peach tree. I got that from the city too, so I dug that up and brought that along. So that is at my dad's house in a pot. All of my hostas, I couldn't leave. Well, at least I did leave hostas that were there when we moved into the house. But these were hostas that I had actually dug up from my dad's house, took them to my house, planted them. They were doing great, and I really I just love that variety. I don't know what variety it is, but I really like it. And so I dug those up, and I have all of these hostas planted all around my dad's deck. So the hope is that, when we find us a place, I'll find them a good home in our, new location. So I'm going to show you what I am currently doing as far as container gardening. I'm really excited about doing this. I took my inspiration as far as growing potatoes in containers from Hollis and Nancy, their videos. So I'm following their recommendations or how they say to do it, and already the potatoes have started to sprout and above the soil, so that's looking really good. So come along and see what I'm doing, and I'm glad to be back on YouTube, and I'm going to try to keep this thing going, even though I'm not growing in the ground, but I'm growing in containers. So started off with drilling holes in containers, 5-gallon buckets, and also in some red cups for my apple tree twigs. And then I marked off the bucket so that it would show the markings that I saw on Hollis and Dance's video. And this is the materials that I use: some black cow, some peat moss, and some topsoil, and I mix them together really well. I start off with the little shovel, and then I had to get a big shovel. I wanted to mix it up really well for the container that I was going to be putting the soil into. And I found this kind of like a wagon that my dad had that I was going to set my containers up on. And so once I filled them part way with some soil, then I added the potatoes. The potatoes that I used were kind of small, so I did 3 potatoes each container. It was just 2 containers. So I started them back on March the 6th, and in the meantime, everything was gearing up to get started growing again. And then on March 14th, I added some bone meal. We were expecting some rain, so I wanted to go ahead and add them. It was supposed to be a very heavy rain, which we did get, and that was good for my plants and everything. And then as time went on, I began to see that the apple tree twigs were sprouting. So my first notice of that was March 27th. I was excited to see that. I had planted them with some rooting hormones, and it looked like it took. So I'm just hoping that they will carry on. As March had continued on, I saw that my plants were now beginning to grow, which seemed like everybody was okay with growing in their plant pots. And I decided to purchase some tomato plants. So I picked up some 2 patio tomato plants and a pepper plant and planted those, and to get them started. And so far, everything looked like it was going really, really well. The apple tree twigs were still coming along. They were still growing. Everything is so far in the month of March was just looking like it was just doing well, just emerging and sprouting like it's supposed to do. And then on March 29th is when I began to notice sprouting of the potatoes. So now I'm just, it's the month of April and things are still going well. And I brought a bunch of bulbs, so they sprouted. And I just wanted to share with you the beauty that they displayed during the month of April. And so take a look. And I just want to say thanks for watching and have a great day.